What's up, guys? So you've done a deal or two, or you've at least been researching real estate for a while, and you come across this video and you're asking yourself, how do I get to 5 deals, 10 deals, or 20 deals a year? How do I get to that next level of consistent deal flow where I have the not only financial freedom I want, but the time freedom I want? And so you're here, and I want to make mention to you the one thing that you're going to say to any seller to close a deal. We first must find motivated sellers, right? We're going to find sellers who need to sell, sellers who are willing to sell either below value, or if you do it like my business, they're either going to sell way below value or they're willing to take payments over time. We'll pay a great price for the house, but they're willing to give us time to pay them off in full. Either way, we're okay with. So when it comes down to finding motivated sellers, when it comes down to getting the right team, the whole objective is do less and make more. The whole objective is that you only talk to sellers who have already pre-screened themselves out from your team, your virtual assistants, or your answering service, however you have it set up. The way I do it, the virtual assistants pre-screen them out, and then and only then they give you a reason to talk to them do you actually get on the phone and potentially close the deal. You know, I see a lot of people out there who get in their head one way of doing things. I think, well, I'm just going to make lowball cash offers, and yet they miss 75% of deals because they don't have the creativity. So I'm going to give you the magic line that above all else has helped me close more deals than anything else. And so after you find the right seller, after you are getting on the phone and you're asking questions, you're going, man, I just need a consistent deal flow. I know I need constant leads. I know I need the virtual assistant screening team, but how do I really get to the basis of what the seller needs or wants? Quick, get to their motivation. The number one key is to find their motivation, and to do so, here's the question you're going to ask. Simple. Ask the seller, what do you want? That's right. I just say to the seller, what do you want? Why? Because perhaps the seller wants to get out from under the debt that's on the property. Perhaps the debt's at 3% interest and has 25 years left on the loan. Perhaps you can come in and buy the house and take over the debt, and you just locked in 25-year 3% interest loan in a crazy market. And so that's one thing that happens. Perhaps the seller needs cash. Maybe they need moving money. And so if you would have been talking to them about debt relief, they didn't need debt relief. They just needed moving money. So now if you're talking about moving money, you're on the right track. So we have to ask the seller, get to the basis of what do you want? What do you need out of this? And so if they're more concerned about price, then probably our owner financing, paying them off over time, is going to be their key. If they're just needing fast cash now and there's no debt on the property, well, then it's probably going to be a low cash offer. So how do we get to that consistent deal flow? We learn to ask the right questions, and we get a team who pre-screen the deals for us. It can be an outsourced team of virtual assistants, as mine are, or it can be an in-house team. Doesn't matter. Either way, we've got to have consistent lead flow, consistent flow to our desk of sellers who are likely motivated and ready to talk to us. And then we have to get to the basis of what does the seller want. When you find that out, my friend, you have cracked the magic code to consistent deals every single month, because you learn to get to the basis. Find the sellers, write this down, find the seller's hot button. Find the seller's hot button by asking, what do you want? And so I want to make sure that it's a win-win-win. I want us as the investors, the people who are buying the houses, to win. Of course, it's got to be profitable, or we wouldn't do the deal. I want the seller to win and get what they want, what they need out of the situation, out of the property. I want whatever we do with it. We rent the house, we sell the house, we lease option the house. I want our buyer, our in-person, or our renter to win. And so I want everybody in the situation to win. In order to do that, we must get to the basis of what do you want. In fact, that's a good question to ask in all of your relationships, whether it be family or friends or guidance or your tenants or your buyers or your sellers or anybody else in between that you have relationships with, personally and professionally. I constantly ask the question, what do you want? That will cut to the chase of what is going on in their brain and what they're wanting out of the situation. Once you get really good at asking questions and letting the sellers make you offers, the world becomes your oyster and the deals become unlimited. Because as you ask those questions, you'll find that quite commonly I get students come to me and they'll say, well, Andrew, why would they do that? And the answer is, I don't know. until I ask. I don't know why a seller wants quick cash now. Maybe they need quick cash now to pay off a debt or handle some personal situation. I don't know why some sellers would prefer to make more money over time until I ask them. And so we don't know what's going on in any of these situations until we ask. Getting to the basis of that, asking the right questions can lead you to massive results. What do you want? Remember, that's the magic question on any deal, on any conversation, on any time that leads you to the next step. I always say, don't get off the phone until you know that next step. Once you find out what the seller wants, if you can give it to them, then you have a deal. If the seller wants you to take the debt off of their hands plus give them $5,000 in moving money and those numbers work for you, then you just made a deal. If the seller just wants debt relief and you agree to take over the debt, you just made a deal. If the seller wants cash at half value and you're willing to give it to them, you just made a deal. So what do they want is exactly where I'm headed every time I get on the phone. And that is how I close deals consistently week after week after week, is by asking the seller what they want, and if we can provide it to them, we come to a deal. That's how you go from your first deal or your first few deals or just studying real estate to now having a real estate investing business that provides you financial freedom and even time freedom and gives you a whole new world of opportunity. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.